Hello folks, and welcome back to the final Releases I Loved video of the year. I'm your host Wheels, and as snow has fallen down on the ground in the northern hemisphere and winter has unofficially arrived, it's time for me to look back at the albums I loved in the autumn, or the fall if you prefer, of 2024. We're going to start off with a potential album of the year candidate here in Kanonenfieber's new album, Urkatastrophe. This is the second album from this German melodic black and death metal band that focuses on the horrors and tragedies of World War I. And I gotta say right off the bat, I am so enthralled with this album, and I am so proud of how far Noise, the main guy behind the band, has come in such a short amount of time. I remember when he started, just a thing he worked on during COVID, and now look at him. He's signed to one of the best and most well-respected metal labels in the world, Century Media, and he is just killing it with awesome live performances and like an awesome live band behind him. Noise is just killing it with Kanonenfieber now. There are tons of catchy songs that have gotten stuck in my head ever since I first heard it. There isn't a day that I've gone by that Waffenbruder is stuck in my head. That chorus, den Waffenbruder. I'm sorry for all German speakers watching this video because I don't speak German. But anyway, there are so many memorable moments on this album. It is just insane how catchy this album all is. If you like catchy melodic death metal or melodic black and death metal like Aeternum, if you want to hear what if Sabaton was a darker band and didn't glorify war and instead tried to educate people about the horrors of war, this album is an album of the year candidate, and you'll have the guitar lines and the choruses stuck in your head for days, even if you don't speak German. It's that good, people. Check this out. Next up is Devenial Verdict with Blessing of Despair. This is a death metal band from Finland, and the riffs on this album, oh my god, it is just pummeling, man. The song Many Eyes has this riff that reminds me of Gaerea or Morbid Angel, and it's just, I feel that riff with every fiber of my being. There's creepy parts, there's atmospheric parts. There's one song that has a sound that kind of reminds me of like John Carpenter scores. Think stuff like from The Thing and stuff like that. You know, the synthesizer stuff that John Carpenter did and all those horror movie classics. I've only heard one other YouTube channel talk about this, and that's my friends over at Forge Master Metal Reviews. Shout out to Brandon and Ben for talking about this record too. If you want an old school kind of dissonant but kind of not record to check out this year, yeah, this record has all the riffs. And plus, the main vocalist, he has a style similar to John Tardy from Obituary. You know, that yeah style. But you can actually kind of hear what he's screaming, which I love. And I love the production on this thing. It is so like swampy but like ethereal sort of sounding. It is awesome. So yeah, if you haven't checked out this Devenial Verdict album, give it a shot. It's awesome death metal. Next up is a band I just recently saw live, opening up for Zeal and Ardor, and that is Gaerea with their new album Coma. Now this is the first album with Guilherme as the lead vocalist. If you don't know this band, they are a Portuguese black metal band. And this has more of a sort of a black metal meet sort of Neurosis / Cult of Luna-esque sound, meets kind of Death Heaven but kind of not, meets like sort of like a metalcore influence, especially in the vocals and especially in the song Waterblade. The drums go into the D-beat pattern that reminds me of like old metalcore bands like Converge. And it's very well produced too. So if you're looking for an entryway into black metal and you think, oh, Darkthrone and all that, they're too harsh for me. This is a well-produced black metal album that'll definitely be a gateway for anybody complaining about the production values of a lot of other black metal bands and want something more bigger sound. If you're into like stuff like Downfall of Gaerea or Altar of Plagues, like that sort of like post-black metal, yeah, check out this new Gaerea album. It's really good. Next up is another band I was really hyped for releasing a new album, and that is the Greek epic metal band Triumpher with their sophomore album Spirit Invictus. This is a more US style power metal similar to Outliers, with a couple of blackened flavors in the vocals similar to like Immortal and stuff like that. Yeah, if you were looking for a replacement for Outliers after the whole controversy of the guitarist, this would do the trick. And also, if you love Eric Adams' vocals in Manowar, yeah, this will also do the trick. It condenses a lot of what they did on their last album into a 40-minute package that is very epic, very much about Greek history. This is one of the best traditional heavy metal / power metal albums I've heard this year. So yeah, check it out if you want US style power metal that isn't done by controversial people. Yeah, check it out. Next up is something I only just recently heard, but it is fantastic, and that is the folk black metal band Ungfell with their album Ghörnt. These guys are from Switzerland, and they play a hybrid folk black metal, medieval black metal style. They often talk about Swiss mythology in their lyrics. And this album right here is a concept album about a hiker, a mountain hiker, an alpinist, who discovers a Swiss folkloric monster called the Woollybuck, which is like kind of like anthropomorphic goat monster. So if you like stories like that, if you like Slovakian band Yaelokre, how they have like Slovakian folklore in it, Ungfell does the exact same thing but with Swiss mythology. Yeah, so if you like Swiss mythology and if you like folk music, folk metal, black metal, and it's in Swiss German too. So if you like all that, check out Ungfell's Ghörnt. It's an amazing record. Now, before I talk about this next record, I'll have to quickly say that Blood Incantation's new album, Absolute Elsewhere, was fantastic too, but I don't really want to buy into the hype by talking about that album, so instead, I'll talk about another highly acclaimed progressive death metal album that is done by a lesser known band, only on their second release, and that is the Italian progressive death metal band Bedsore, with their second album, Dreaming the Strife for Love. Now, in the first record they did, Hypnagogic Hallucinations, back in 2020, which was my number 7, I think, record of the year back then. They did atmospheric death metal back then. But fast forward to 2024, and they've completely transformed into this like progressive rock by way of blackened death metal sound. It's almost like the progressive black metal band Enslaved if they were influenced by like PFM, the Italian progressive rock band from the 70s. If you know PFM sound, you'll know what I'm talking about here, especially if you're Italian. It's also kind of like Enslaved by way of Yes, or like early Genesis, stuff like that. And it got a lot of keyboard and organ and just a lot of amazing instrumentation on it. So if you love progressive death metal, check out this new Bedsore album, Dreaming the Strife for Love. It is excellent. Yeah, check it out. It's so adventurous. And the last album I'm going to talk about before I go to the Growers and Outliers section, and before a quick shout out to a couple albums, is The Cure, with their album Songs of a Lost World. The legendary goth rock band is back after 16 years, fronted by the one and only Robert Smith, with an album that is just majestic and depressing, yet hopeful at the same time. Songs like War Song and End Song are absolutely beautiful, with Robert's pained vocals and sort of delivery that he does. If you know The Cure, you know that he has a lot of poetic lyrics. And I especially love the organ settings on War Song. This is going to be a strange comparison, but the organs remind me of Stormcrow Fleet, the album by the funeral doom metal band Skepticism, but done in a gothic rock context. And it's excellent. A booming toms that go boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean if you listen to it. It's just excellent. And all of the songs are excellent. It got such a dreary yet hopeful atmosphere. You know, The Cure are legends for a reason. This album right here pretty much proves once again that they are masters of their craft, and why other gothic rock bands look up to them for a lot of inspiration. So, great job Robert Smith and company, and Simon Gallup for the bass playing on this record. Great job, The Cure. Before I go into the Growers and Outliers section, I'd like to give a quick shout out to two albums also. The new Psychonaut 4 album, which has a couple of metal Song of the Year contenders right in the middle of the album, right next to each other actually, and to Tribulation's new album for being that final push towards me really getting into gothic rock, like the aforementioned The Cure, and another album I'm going to mention soon. Growers and Outliers. The first grower and outlier I'm going to talk about is Yaelokre with Hayfields. If you don't know Yaelokre, Yaelokre is a Filipino one-person folk project that blew up on TikTok because of the song Harpy Hair being a viral hit on there. And I first discovered Yaelokre through me being in a Sleep Token meme group. You know that meme where it's like Winnie the Pooh sitting in a chair and then like the posh Winnie the Pooh? That meme. So the top was Sleep Token, and then the bottom was Keith Onk from Yaelokre. So I was intrigued. So I checked out this EP right here. And Keith is a fantastic singer. They have a voice similar to Aurora. I could see them opening up for Aurora in the future. This person has massive potential. They have concept and a world and a storytelling that I'm not able to grasp that much with like Animal Mask and stuff like that. But yeah, the songs are just excellent and captivating. And their voice is excellent. Like, it reminds me of Aurora. It reminds me of the singer from Four Non Blondes too. If you like folk music and stuff like that, check out Yaelokre. They're awesome. Next up is Spectral Wound with Songs of Blood and Mire. This is a Canadian black metal band, a Quebecois black metal band out of Montreal, Quebec. And this album took a while to grow on me, but when it hit, it really hit. I love how in comparison to the last album, they break it up with punky songs, fast songs. Punky songs, fast songs. I love that they managed to switch up the style. Similar to their main influence in a Finnish black metal band I will not mention by name. But if you know, you know. Yeah, this takes the Finnish black metal sound. They use it in their own sort of way. It is just raw, it is just ferocious, and it's a heck of a lot of fun. So, if you like your black metal that is sort of like raw and ferocious, yet has some black and roll type energy, check out this new Spectral Wound album. It's fun and it's an excellent listen. The final album of this Growers and Outliers section is Fields of the Nephilim with the album Elysium. Now this was the final album with the gothic rock band's classic lineup, and it has an excellent atmosphere. The vocals are an acquired taste, they're kind of nasally, but once you get into the atmosphere, it really sucks you in and holds you for the entire record. It is a fantastic gothic rock record, and I highly recommend anybody who is getting into gothic rock, check out the Fields of Nephilim album. It is excellent. So, that does it for the final Albums I Loved video of 2024. And that means it's time for the 4th annual Golden Wheel Awards video that I am going to put out in the new year, featuring the best and the worst albums of the year, in my honest opinion. So, if you want to see more of this, subscribe to Wheels of Mercury today. Video here, video here. Thank you for another amazing year here at Wheels of Mercury. Rock on, guys, and I will see you for the Golden Wheel Awards in 2025. Take care.